5 common fruits that you trust and enjoy are silently working against you, causing dangerous blood sugar spikes and forcing your heart to work harder every single day. We're talking about foods that could secretly triple your risk of stroke and heart attack. I know that sounds shocking, but the science of an aging metabolism is absolutely clear on this. Today, I'm Dr. Miles, and I'm going to show you the 5 fruits you need to approach with extreme caution, especially if you have high blood pressure or diabetes. I'll even reveal number 3, which is a summer classic you might be having for lunch right now. And crucially, I'll give you 5 easy rules to follow, along with 5 heart-friendly fruits, so you can enjoy your favorites without risking your precious cardiovascular health. Stay with me because at our age, understanding this simple shift in your diet can be the difference between a long, active life and an unexpected trip to the emergency room. You won't have to worry about stroke or heart attack if you eat the right foods every day. But the truth is, there are 5 fruits that could secretly triple your risk of stroke and heart attack, especially after age 60. In this video, I'll show you which ones to avoid. Number 3 might be something you're eating every day. And I'll also reveal 5 fruits that are actually good for your heart, brain, and memory. For years, you've been told that eating fruit is the safe, natural, and healthy choice. And for younger people, that's mostly true, but your body at 60 or 70 is not the same as it was at 30. As you age, everything changes. Your blood vessels begin to stiffen and lose elasticity. Your heart doesn't pump as efficiently. Your liver and kidneys become less effective at processing sugar, potassium, and fat. And your body's metabolism, especially how it handles carbohydrates and lipids, becomes increasingly unstable. Don't assume every fruit is safe. Some fruits may have vitamins and fiber, but they can still spike your blood sugar fast. That puts extra pressure on your heart and brain, especially if you eat them the wrong way. That's why this video isn't just a list. It's more like a health alert. It helps you see which fruits are worth keeping and which ones you need to be careful with. The first one might surprise you. It's something most people think is harmless. Fruit number 1, bananas. I know many older adults love eating bananas. They're soft, easy to digest, and have long been considered a healthy choice. In fact, many people over 60 make bananas a regular part of their breakfast routine. But here's what you need to understand clearly. Once we enter our 60s and 70s, our bodies no longer process nutrients the way they used to, especially when it comes to potassium-rich foods like bananas. A medium banana contains about 400 to 450 milligrams of potassium. For a younger person, that's not a problem. But for seniors, especially those with reduced kidney function or who are taking certain blood pressure medications, this can become a serious concern. As we age, our kidneys often become less efficient. That means it's harder for the body to eliminate excess potassium. When potassium starts to build up in the blood, it can lead to a dangerous condition known as hyperkalemia. Hyperkalemia often begins without clear symptoms. You might just feel a bit tired, notice an irregular heartbeat, or feel brief episodes of heart palpitations. But over time, high potassium can trigger serious arrhythmias. And if potassium levels rise too high, the heart can stop suddenly with no warning signs at all. In fact, according to the American Heart Association, blood potassium levels above 5.5 mol/L are considered dangerous. Above 6.5 mol/L, that's a medical emergency, so what's the problem? The problem is that many people have no idea they're reapproaching that danger zone simply because they eat 2 ripe bananas every morning thinking they're making a heart-healthy choice. I'm not saying you should never eat bananas again, but at this age, we have to be smarter about how we eat. Avoid overly ripe bananas, the ones that are super soft or covered in dark spots, because these have even higher levels of sugar and potassium. And if you're taking potassium-sparing diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or living with chronic kidney disease, this becomes even more important for your senior wellness. Bananas can still be part of a healthy lifestyle if you know your limits. Maybe half a banana at a time, paired with high-fiber foods, and always paying attention to how your body responds afterward. At this stage of life, every small decision about food, every habit, can make a big difference in your heart health. And sometimes the things we trust the most are the very things we need to reevaluate first. Fruit number 2, grapes. Do you really think fruits like grapes are harmless? After bananas, grapes are the next sugar trap many seniors fall into every single day. Grapes are incredibly popular. They're small, convenient, and have a refreshing sweetness, which is why many seniors choose grapes as a healthier alternative to candy or desserts. At first glance, that seems like a smart move. But here, what you need to understand. Grapes are sweet because they contain a high amount of sugar, specifically fructose, a simple sugar that's absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream. What's the problem? When you're young, your liver can handle fructose relatively well. But as you age, your metabolism slows down and the body becomes less efficient. In people over 60, excess fructose is no longer fully converted into energy. Instead, much of it is quickly turned into triglycerides. High triglyceride levels thicken your arterial walls, contribute to atherosclerosis, and significantly increase your risk of heart attack and stroke. People often talk about cholesterol, but forget that elevated triglycerides are just as dangerous and often go unnoticed because they rarely cause obvious symptoms. Sugar from fruit, especially from low-fiber sources like grapes, is one of the most overlooked contributors to high blood fat in aging adults. In addition, grapes have a relatively high glycemic index, GI, typically around 59 to 65, depending on ripeness. This means eating just 1 cup of grapes can cause your blood sugar to spike, followed by a rapid drop, creating dangerous fluctuations in both blood pressure and heart rate, especially in older adults. And let's be honest, no one eats just 5 or 6 grapes and stops. We eat them by the bunch, by the bowl, often without realizing it. This leads to excessive sugar intake, repeated daily, which silently raises your triglycerides, blood pressure, and your risk of arrhythmia. Don't let the refreshing taste or small size of grapes fool you. In an aging body, that rapid sugar absorption can become a heavy burden on your cardiovascular system. So, should you cut out grapes completely? Not necessarily, but you do need to be smarter about how you eat them. If you love grapes, eat a small portion, preferably after a main meal, not on an empty stomach. Never treat grapes as a full snack. And most importantly, don't combine them with other sweet fruits into a fruit salad. That's when your heart has to work the hardest. At this age, making the right food choice isn't just about more or less. It's about timing, portion control, and understanding how your body works now.
Fruit number 3, watermelon. Do you think cutting back on sugar is enough to protect your heart? The next fruit might feel cool and sweet, but it can throw your heartbeat off balance after just one lunch. It's especially risky if you're taking blood pressure medication. Number 3, watermelon. Watermelon is a classic symbol of summer. Cool, juicy, and naturally sweet, and for many seniors, it's a favorite treat to beat the heat. But for those living with heart disease, high blood pressure, or taking cardiac medications, eating watermelon requires a more cautious look. Here's something most people overlook. Watermelon contains a large amount of citrulline, a naturally occurring amino acid known to dilate blood vessels. Sounds good, right? After all, vasodilation helps lower blood pressure. But in clinical practice, especially in older adults who are already on antihypertensive drugs, too much vasodilation can cause a sudden and dangerous drop in blood pressure. I've seen cases where seniors eat watermelon at noon, go for a light walk, and suddenly feel dizzy, lightheaded. Or even faint. Most think it's dehydration or heat exhaustion. In reality, it's often the combined effect of vasodilator medications and the citrulline in watermelon, dropping their blood pressure below a safe level. There's more. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index GI between 72 and 80, depending on ripeness. For seniors with impaired sugar metabolism, this means rapid blood Sugar spikes followed by sharp crashes, which can trigger palpitations, anxiety, and unstable heart rhythms. And while watermelon is over 90% water, it lacks fiber or protein, meaning the natural sugars absorb very quickly, hitting your bloodstream faster than most fruits. This sudden sugar rush, followed by a crash, places a significant strain on an already sensitive cardiovascular system, especially for those over 60. I'm not saying you have to give up watermelon entirely, but if you're on blood pressure medications being treated for arrhythmia or often feel dizzy after eating, it's time to reevaluate how much watermelon you're eating. Fruit number 4, durian. Do you think fruits don't contain fat? Then the next one might surprise you. Just 100 grams of it can have as much saturated fat as a piece of pork belly. And if you're trying to keep your heart healthy and avoid stroke or heart attack, this is something you need to seriously reconsider. Number 4. Durian. Durian is beloved by many, especially across Asia. With its strong aroma, creamy texture, and intense sweetness, it's often seen as a special treat. But here's what most people don't realize. Nutritionally, durian contains surprisingly high levels of saturated fat, nearly equivalent to certain cuts of fatty meat. To put it in perspective, 100 grams of durian can contain 3 to 5 grams of fat, most of which is saturated fat. That's almost the same as a serving of cooked pork belly. So why does this matter for seniors? In aging adults, saturated fat accumulation has a direct impact on LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol. When LDL levels rise, they easily stick to arterial walls, especially those already stiff or damaged from aging. Over time, this forms plaques, narrowing the blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the heart and brain, and increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. But that's not all. Durian is also one of the highest calorie and highest sugar fruits. Just 100 grams can contain 140 to 160 calories, 2 to 3 times more than most common fruits. The combination of high sugar and saturated fat makes durian particularly harmful. It can raise cholesterol, trigger inflammation inside blood vessels, and damage the endothelial lining, the thin inner wall of your arteries. Once the endothelium becomes inflamed, the body tries to repair it using cholesterol. This is how hard plaques begin to form. It gets even riskier if you're already on statins, blood pressure, medications, or have pre-existing heart conditions. Your cardiovascular system is already fragile, and durian can disrupt lipid balance and cause sudden vasodilation, leading to further instability. Durian also tends to raise body temperature and increase heart rate. For someone with a weakened cardiovascular system, this forces the heart to work harder in a short amount of time, leading to palpitations, shortness of breath, or a sense of restlessness, especially if eaten at night or combined with protein-rich meals or alcohol. Now, I'm not denying durian's unique flavor, but if you truly care about your heart health, you should treat durian the same way you'd treat butter, fried food, or fatty meat, with moderation and caution. A few small bites, once in a while, that's acceptable. But if you're eating whole segments or treating durian as a regular dessert, you may be putting your aging heart at risk without realizing it. Fruit number 5. Mango. Fat is already a concern, but sugar is what fools older adults every single day. Number 5. Mango. It's no surprise that mangoes are a go-to summer dessert. They're sweet, soft, fragrant, and yes, still considered fruit. But here's the key message. Not all sweetness is equal, and not every fruit is heart-friendly, especially after the age of 60. Mangoes are among the highest natural sugar fruits, especially rich in fructose, a simple sugar that's absorbed quickly and difficult to regulate in older adults. Just one ripe mango can contain 45 to 50 grams of sugar, the equivalent of 10 to 12 teaspoons of refined sugar. At age 30, your body may process this without much trouble. But by 60, your insulin response weakens. Instead of turning sugar into energy, your body converts more of it into triglycerides or blood fat. And that's a problem. High triglycerides contribute to arterial plaque, elevated blood pressure, reduced blood flow to the heart and brain, and long-term risk of stroke or heart attack. Mangoes also have a moderately high glycemic index (GI) of about 60 to 70. Depending on ripeness, eating ripe mangoes can spike your blood glucose, causing rapid insulin swings and forcing the heart to speed up, often leading to sensations like palpitations, fatigue, or anxiety in people with underlying heart disease. The risk increases if you eat mango on an empty stomach in the evening, or worse, as a smoothie or juice. Blending mango destroys its natural fiber, which slows down sugar absorption. Once liquefied, that healthy mango shake behaves almost like a can of soda in your bloodstream. This sudden spike in glucose, insulin, and heart rate is what makes mango particularly dangerous. These fluctuations can activate the sympathetic nervous system, causing your heart to overwork, and in seniors may trigger arrhythmias, chest pain, or even minor strokes that go unnoticed. So the question isn't, is mango healthy or not? It's this: at your age, the amount, timing, and method of eating matter far more than the food itself. With mango, limits are essential. Eat small portions only after a full meal, never as juice or a daily habit, because every moment your heart beats steadily is a precious extension of your time. Don't let a fruit you trust slowly steal it away. We've just gone through 5 familiar fruits that are also commonly misunderstood, not because they're toxic, but because your body after 60 no longer processes them the way it used to. What was once considered healthy may now cause blood sugar spikes and high triglycerides and force your heart to work harder every single day. The issue isn't the fruit. The issue is how you eat them, how much, when, and under what health conditions. If you're entering older age with a more vulnerable cardiovascular system, the way you select and consume fruits must change accordingly. So now let me share 5 simple rules to help you enjoy fruit without putting your heart health at risk. Rule number 1, reduce the quantity, not eliminate fruit. You don't need to cut fruit out of your diet. But start by having your usual amount. If you used to eat a whole mango, try 1/3 or 1/2 instead. Rule number 2, never eat fruit on an empty stomach. When you eat fruit alone, especially in the morning, sugars are absorbed too rapidly, leading to blood sugar spikes and a racing heart. Eating fruit after a balanced meal slows down absorption. Rule number 3, avoid fruit juices and smoothies. Blending or juicing breaks down natural fiber, causing sugars to hit your bloodstream almost instantly, like drinking sweetened syrup. Instead, eat whole fruit. Chew slowly, so your body can process it gradually. Rule number 4, choose heart-friendly fruits. Pick those with a low glycemic index and rich in antioxidants, like apples, blueberries, strawberries, grapefruit, and pears. These support your arteries, reduce inflammation, and don't spike your glucose. Rule number 5, listen to your body. If you feel your heart racing, palpitations, or unusual fatigue after eating a certain fruit, don't ignore it. Track your reaction, reduce the portion, or stop altogether. Your body is your most reliable advisor. Your heart has worked a lifetime to keep you alive. Now, even a small change in your daily habits can help it keep beating strong for years to come. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget, it's never too late to start caring for your heart again. If this information shocked you, please hit the like button to help this crucial health alert reach more seniors who need to see it. Have you noticed palpitations or dizziness after eating any of these 5 fruits? Tell me your experience in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want more science-backed tips on how to protect your heart, brain, and memory as you age, make sure you subscribe to the Senior Forward Health channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you for spending this important time with me. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video.